Hello, hello.
Hey everyone, I see everybody's joining in.
Well,
Thanks for joining us. Who was here first? Monica. Hi, Monica, Martha.
many of us are freezing cold.
Freezing cold, yes.
Very cold.
Hey, Jan. Heather. Thank you, Byron. Thanks for joining us, guys. What's the temperature now? I guess you survived -24, so you're here.
It's up there today. I'm gonna look. I mean, it is very, very cold. Very.
Yeah,
It.
but it wasn't bad here. It was very sunny. I barely stepped outside because I was working all day, but
So it's -18. That's so if I go Fahrenheit, it's 0. So it's 0 Fahrenheit for our American.
-18. I mean, during the daytime, huh?
Yes, yes.
That's
Hi,
good.
Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Very,
So,
very.
where are you guys watching from? Hi, Kathy.
And then in Spain, it's 11 degrees Celsius, 52 Fahrenheit. Life is rough.
But honestly, I have not I've seen the sun just going upstairs, but I have not been enjoying outdoors very much today. I've been just
Very
working.
cold in the UK as well.
I'm working on several different projects. One of them is today's live.
Tina has it 75. That's nice. Yes, it's winter. So
And you
depressing.
can guess what I'm doing. My bag. I mean, the icing is separated again. Hi,
Oh, yeah.
Fabiola, Mexican connection.
Hello, Heather. I don't want to win this contest. I don't want to. I want to be the loser. I don't want to win.
Well, I think that's gonna be tough to beat -18 or 0. I've been doing 2 jobs and emails.
Oh, Jeremy,
So I'm sorry your brain is melting. I hope you can. Maybe you can step outside and stop it from melting. I don't know.
Brazilian is not happy. Yes, I'm sure. All right, so both of us are actually still in Valentine's Day. So if you guys are still feeling the love, that's what's happening today. So let me turn on my camera.
Okay, let me do the dance. Where is it? Where are you? There you are.
There we go. All right.
This how pretty.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Okay, so here it is, the project. I've got a few hearts on my workbench today. And so I just want to show you guys the cutters for this. So this is a Franken cookie, or kind of like a finagling, if you will. And so you have a heart. Many of us cookie decorators have heart cutters. And then I have an exclamation point. That's what I use to make the tassel. And then that red one in the middle, that's by Sweet Sugar Belle. She had a few edge cutters, just to trim off cutters. So
Oh yeah, I have that too.
yeah. So I trimmed off the bottom of the exclamation point, and you can see it there. You see, and so I used a straw for the actual stick. Okay. And then just to show you guys here, I bake my cookies upside down. So I create a little dent in the cookie with the straw, and then I freeze them and I flip them over on the straw, and I bake the straw in goes in the oven. Don't worry, it doesn't catch fire. So then the cookie kind of wraps around it. But as you see here, it did detach, but then you can re-secure it with icing. Royal icing is, I always say a royal icing is edible cement. It really is. So here I have a little video of me re-securing the stick in there. And I'm just adding a little bit of white icing to the tassel portion so that you don't see the cookie when you do add the tassel, since it's just lines. And then I'm just quickly flooding the heart. And that's basically the beginnings of the design. I think pink and black is very graphic. It's very eye-catching. I like that combination. So if you are in my groups, either on Facebook or on Patreon, I did load a practice sheet if you're wanting to practice these lines. So if we look at the design here and the practice sheet, all the lines that are on the cookie are on this practice sheet. So the perimeter is a zigzag line. It's right here. Then we have this border here. You see it's aligned with little dots. It's the little heart here. This one here, it's aligned with the 3 dots. That's this one, like this edge here, and we have a stitch there. So you can practice all the lines, and then once you're feeling confident, you can move on to the cookie. This is for those of you that maybe are a bit nervous about piping. It's your first kind of time. You can print the sheet and you can kind of practice.
This is available in Marlyn's Patreon group?
Yes, the sheet's on in Facebook and on Patreon to practice if you want to practice.
I'm just asking, can you start on the lives by telling us what inspired you to create your new designs? So maybe you can.
Well, I had been seeing on Pinterest, a lot of people were making this little craft. It's like keychains and stuff, the heart with the little tassel. I had seen a lot of tassels. I saw it like balloon arrangements and different things. So my brain is always on the cookie channel. And so when I saw this kind of like macrame was doing like crafts, people who do macrame were doing it, and there was like these little tassels hanging. So then I was like, oh, I don't want to have to buy a cutter for this. What would look like a tassel? And I thought, the exclamation point. So my brain, I don't know how I come up with these.
How many people actually have an exclamation point cookie cutter? So,
well, the exclamation point is in Wilton's letter set, which a lot of people do have. Yeah, it is. And it's not expensive, that set.
Have it, but I don't recall. I have to look. I don't know.
Here, look. If you look at the cutter, you can see it. It's the yellow, like those they're cheap.
Yeah. I'm thinking this could be a small something. It looks like a keyhole.
Yes, I used it also for one of these flower platters I did. It was a petal for a big flower platter.
So some of the snowmen, you could, I guess, you get away with some of the snowman cutters. They don't have 3 parts; they have just 2 parts, head and the body. So maybe you could get away with using that.
Yeah. See if I can use this. Yes, you could see I like the cookie pop idea for like gifts. You know, like if school treats and stuff. They think to themselves, exactly right, Jeremy, that's right. A baseball bat, yes.
Yeah, that's true, yes, depending, yes.
Oh, yes, that's actually funny.
Actually, today I'm doing a bee mine theme, and I have 3 bee cutters, just because, yeah.
Are they the same?
Uh-huh.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, very cool. I was like, oh, yes, great. I have 3 of the same.
You're safe, Jeremy, you're safe. Okay, so I just want to show, so this is, like I say, the practice sheet, and you can practice off. And obviously, the bigger the piping tip, the different, it's going to give you a different look. So I just want to show you, last Tuesday, I mentioned I was going to do a piñata cookie. So I'm just going to quickly show you, because I did prep, and then, as my brain always goes. So here is the back pink, and then you just secure that, and then here's the cover. But you can see it's the same kind of coloring as this one. So last week or last Tuesday, I used ice malt. It's basically the same thing, but you can see here, instead of having this in icing, you can have the little window. So this version, you can do it with so many different things. So I thought, because of the video, I'll do it on a big heart we'll decorate. So this is a scalloped heart. It's on the big side. If you're making cookies for kids, this is maybe a little bit big, but it is a nice gift size. And so I did my perimeter in a 3, so it's fat, so that once you flood, you actually can still see your perimeter. And then I've got a 1.5, and I'm going to try to position so that you guys can see. And then I'm just adding the like half circles here around. So you're using the shape of the cookie to kind of guide how big these little, what would you call these? The lace.
Calling them a bridge.
Hey, a
Listen,
bridge.
a bridge. You're building a bridge. But they're like what scalloped shape, scallop border, scalloped outline border, or a little bridge. You
I
build,
guess it's supposed to look like a ruffle or like lace around.
what do you call these guys? Please let us know in the comments. We are struggling with the terminology here, as always.
So you could do
Oh,
brushing.
yes, the scalloped border. Yes, scallops. Have you ladies ever used rose extract in the real icing? I have not. I am not a fan of rose extract. I
Yeah,
I,
me
I
neither.
bought it, tasted it. I didn't like it.
So you could do petals around the edge. You could do brush embroidery if you wanted. So I'm barely squeezing, consistent pressure.
This
Whoops.
guys is such a weird angle she's doing it at. I have to really applaud you doing it at this angle. It's such a weird angle.
I'm trying to make sure that you guys see. It is weird. So
It's yeah,
you're
it's
just
hard. It's a difficult angle because usually doing this, you are facing it and you can be close and you're doing amazing.
thank you. So I'm consistent but barely squeezing. This is a small tip. So you don't want to have a super stiff icing. All that happens when your icing is too stiff, your hand shakes because you're squeezing so hard. You hurt yourself because you're squeezing so hard. The bag could blow up because of the pressure. So you're better to have a slightly runnier icing that comes out easily. Okay. But you don't want it so runny that it gets away from you. But okay, so now next is where
You could also call them bump. Elizabeth is so wonderful. She's consulting her crochet border book right now to see what the
what
right.
they're calling it.
Yes.
Okay, so once you get to this, I mean, you could be done. You could be done, but obviously,
Not you though.
no. And the thing is this is a fun project if you want to practice, because there's so many different types of line on it. So now you're eyeballing it, okay? You're visualizing a consistent width from that black line. So you're looking where you start, you want to maintain that width. So try to visualize. So I'll touch down and then I let my spaghetti form and then I let it fall. I'm stabilizing my hand, my piping hand with my hand that has nothing. It's holding like so that I don't shake. I'm letting it fall. I'm visualizing to maintain the same distance and then I stop. I've cut the heart in two. Now I'm going to kind of try to see here. I'm going to touch where I ended with the corner so it's more forgiving with regards to, the break. I'm looking to try to maintain that distance. Now, if you don't think you can do that, you'd have to wait for it to dry so that you could draw on it. And there. So now I have a relatively decent kind of, distance. And again, you do the same thing because this has basically multiple types. Like the lines are just with dots, some are with little zigzags or whatever. So you're just kind of repeating that.
Loving it. Beautiful. Wow. Sally says, I'm laughing here just imagining me doing this. Don't be so hard on yourself, Sally. You're doing amazing.
Okay, so once
She calls it a chain border, which doesn't make sense, Elizabeth says.
maybe, kind of, I guess I can see it.
Marlyn, have you done this before?
Maybe a couple of times. So if you look at this one here,
Hey, we say often stabilize your hand. Can you show how you do that? Cheryl is asking.
sure. So I'm squeezing and then I'm holding like my hand here. So this one is doing the pressure and the other one is I'm just holding my hand so that it stops it from, that little wobble. So if we look closely, all right, here, can I pop the picture up? Maybe it'll show more. If you look at the center heart, that's been filled, that little area, and that's a consistent dot around that perimeter. But if you look, there's a white part, that one has a 3-dot kind of border. And you can see it here on the template, and it just looks slightly different than just having the dot. So just if you see it, it's this one right here. So it's 2 dots, a gap, 2 dots, a gap, 2 dots, a gap, and then you come in and do a dot in between those 2 dots together. And it looks different than the just line with dots. So it's just this project. The point of this is so that you guys can kind of like experiment and see, you know, try different things and play around with the concept. So on this one, you can do the dots on the inside as opposed to doing them on the outside. So I'm just going to leave a bit of a gap. So you just want to have the gap wider than these two that are like kind of gathered together. I'm just doing a bit
nice.
of.
I like this. You're doing it as a pattern.
So if your icing is very stiff, the little dot tends to stand up like a Hershey's Kiss. Then you have to come in and fiddle to flatten it. So you're better to have a slightly runnier icing that will self kind of like flop down, and then there's less retouching to do.
But not like icing. You want to use something like 20, using
Yeah,
like 20.
yeah. And now I'm putting that single dot on the other line that's right in front of it. You see, and so it becomes like, here, let me go over here. So it creates like a little bit of a pattern. You can look at henna for inspiration. They've got nice kind of patterns that are kind of reminiscent of this.
This almost Donna designs. It reminds me of like a dress, you know, like a C, like a like a lace. It's pretty. There's a kick pop band called Blackpink. Jeremy says.
Uh-huh.
Just thought of it because
This is black and pink.
he loves the brand. He loves the band. No, he says he he doesn't know the band. That he not that. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just rambling. Sorry.
So you see, it's not a complicated pattern to repeat. So there you have, and then again, you can be done, or you can just keep adding to it. It's entirely kind of up to you what you want to do.
I will keep adding to it.
So I'm going to just grab here. I have some really light pink.
Yeah, I wish Jeremy. My eyes are hurting. So I'm a little off. I love it. Black really makes it pop. It's very sexy looking. Like
Yes, it's a easy combination to get like a very graphic visual.
how do you get your black? Is this your kitchen sink black?
It is kitchen sink.
Yeah.
But it looks kind of purple in the bag, honestly. But once it gets on the cookie, I find that you can't really tell that there's like the color discrepancy, you know? If I piped on black, you would see it, but it looks fine on this pink.
Yeah, I don't see it as a pink or purple.
So now if you, like I've done this and I've made it like kind of a fat line, and you can wait for this to just crust a bit, because if you add the black to the top of this, well, it'll sink in it. I'll move that one. Here's one that I was working on.
I don't have the scalloped edge cookie cutter, the hard one. I have like 50 hard cutters. I don't have. I have some, but they are very shallow. So it's like when it bakes, it doesn't really make a difference. I think you have the ones that are really.
This is one of the first cutters I ever bought. I remember. So here I did a black outline around the window, and then I added the pink, that same pink. And I did do, like last time, remember we discussed, I put the sugar towards the front, so it gives me more kind of room, and I did spray this as just the clear. And so now I can add to this.
She sprayed it with a lacquer finish, edible lacquer,
Yes,
to prevent
the clouding.
cloudiness. I
So this,
actually did that as well yesterday.
this is also in the sheet, the zigzag line. So it's like rickrack if you sew, that rickrack kind of edging stuff.
So Elizabeth, she doesn't know what the kitchen sink means. So can you maybe, or do you want me to, since you're doing some
You
reason?
can,
Marlyn often makes her black royal icing with all the remaining colors that she has on hand. So she calls it a kitchen sink black. All the colors that go in it, and you can create, nice black color.
and you get to use up the icing that you
Yes.
don't need anymore.
Or maybe you would normally you would probably toss it into the kitchen sink, but if you mix it all, it will make black. Oh yes, someone can say yes, color card. Yes.
What?
Have either done blue and white Portuguese tile inspired cookies? No, I have not, but I want to. I really want to do. She she's got one. Okay, I don't know what this is about.
So now I just added like a stitch, you see? And so again, it's just small bursts of squeezing. You stop, touch down so the line cuts, and then you start again. Try to be consistent with your space and the size of the stitch. This is a 1.5 PME tip. They're made just slightly different than the kinds you get like on AliExpress or, Wilton. They're manufactured like in all in one piece. So the icing comes out just straight and just perfect. So it's worth the investment. They're a little bit more expensive, but you can have one or two in your toolbox, and they
So
just
yes, absolutely. You don't have to. If you're not doing a pinata, you can just maybe cut. Yes, you can cut out the center, and then it would look. Yes, absolutely, it would look great.
so the screen is blurry because for me it looks fine.
For me, it looks it's fine as well. But please let us know if
Might be your internet.
it does look blurry. Maybe try to refresh. Sometimes there are things that are out of our.
So I just want to show here's a similar. You see, it's the similar 3-dot perimeter on a red with the word love. This is a wonky one with that wiggly line, and then the heart with a lighter pink. So really, you can apply this kind of all these different borders to almost any heart. Like here you can see this one, it's like a little bit smaller. Here I only made 3 of the other ones here. I can play. I did do a sped up version if you guys want to see this one. So it's just the wiggly on the perimeter. I like that wiggly on the perimeter. It kind of ties the top kind of with the side of the cookie. This is a good practice project if you're new to piping and you want to have like opportunity to pipe a lot. This is a good one to, maximize your piping potential.
How do you get your cookies to look so shiny?
Well, I think part of that is the meringue powder. I do put them in a dehydrator, but recently because I have the heat on so high, I don't need to. They just dry like that. But I think a big part of it is your ingredients. I mean, they, your sugar and all that, and it's all made differently depending on where you live. So it does impact that. Was that a question?
And also, if your icing is too runnier icing take longer to dry and set. So usually, when it's too runny, it will dry mate.
Yeah, like this one, I have to say, this is like complete, like, and yeah, they are quite shiny. I think part of it is right now my heater.
And this is fully dry. This is
Yeah.
fully dry. Yeah. Wow, that is very shiny. It's like, yeah, mirror.
Yeah.
Very shiny. Nice.
So you can go as elaborate or as simple. And key is if you feel it in your hand, if your hand is tingling, then you should add a little bit of water to your icing. Tingling as in from squeezing, you know, if it's hurting you. This is supposed to be fun, not painful. So
Yes.
if it's if the line is too stiff, well, that's not going to be a fun thing. You're going to have just pain and makes it hard to finish your project.
Can you please give the name of the for the piping tips? I'm gonna put it in the comments, okay? PME.
They also make the shellac. They're the
Yeah.
same company that make the edible varnish for food.
For piping tips. Oops.
They also sell, if you don't have an airbrush, they also sell a very nice like pearl spray. So you can spray your stuff and give it a nice pearl finish. It's really pretty. If you're maybe doing bridal.
Jeremy, see you later.
Bye.
Yeah, it's absolutely carpal tunnel is not fun. I don't know if anyone had that problem. I had on both hands, and it was not fun.
So here, I just did this perimeter, and now I'm just going to write. You can put a name on it, but I'm just going to write love so you can connect to your perimeter line, and then just.
Well, Tanya, sometimes we can help. Wow, I can't get over how shiny it is. It really is. This one particularly, it's very, very shiny. We sometimes, if they lack the shine, what you can do, you can spray the icing, dry icing with luster dust, spray luster dust, right?
So you can see it's wrapped. So you can wrap them. You can add a ribbon if you want. But this is
This
basically
would be also nice as a piñata. Imagine that, well, the tassel would be in the center.
yeah,
Well, it would be a little tricky.
but it just gives it a little something different, you know.
Beautiful.
Well, that's it. So just if you want to practice the different lines, like I say, that practice sheet is on Facebook and in Patreon, and you can kind of practice your lines and dots and all the different things, and then group them together to make your own version of this cookie. So hands turn.
So I'm also doing with a theme. I'm so close. Okay.
Oh,
All right. So I'm going with a pink theme also. Oops, what am I trying
yeah,
to
I mean, they're not crazy expensive. It's just more expensive than the Wiltons.
They are the PME. It's about 5, 6. Yes, they are on a pricier side. Yes.
Yeah, but it's not it's not affordable. Like you can still, they're.
So I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna be doing some easy marbling first. Now the syrup doesn't really make your icing sturdier. It makes it actually a little softer. So if you prefer icing with a softer bite, you can add some corn syrup, but not like a cup or anything like that. I would add maybe up to quarter to third cup the most. I don't know. Do they sell PME tips in the PME tips in the sets? You are a
No, I've not seen. No, I've not seen sets of them, but their piping tips in general are very good. Like I've bought the mini star. They have the smallest leaf tip you've ever seen, the smallest star tips, and they're so good. They're expensive, but I have to say,
Usually by piece, not a set.
no.
I actually did buy four. I bought set four. Oh no, hold on. Maybe it was just I bought four.
Maybe, in UK that you can, but I've not seen it in North American stores.
Yeah, they are pricey. I mean pricey, but it's totally worth it. Just make sure that you don't put it through your dispose.
Yeah.
Kitchen sink.
Yeah.
That kind of hurts.
Bye, Elizabeth.
Bye, Elizabeth. Do you have any plans for this weekend?
We're still in lockdown, so no, not really. Are you guys, is everything open in Spain?
Yes, pretty much. Yes, but I'm not. We went on a little trip last week. We went to see a lighthouse. I sent you pictures. It was lovely, but we don't venture out to restaurants or anything like that. But everything is open. Yes.
So Sherry, there's a store in Ontario, Barrie, Ontario. Her store is called How Sweet Is That? And she carries quite a few different PME products.
Oh yeah, yes she does.
That is awesome though, Susan. It's for cookies. If you're making small details, it's awesome, that piping tip. Hi,
So
Joseph.
leaving a border because I'm going to add beaded border. So that's why I left this border around. And after this, you have to let this dry, okay? So I've got some that are dry. Now you could just, I wanted to do some marbling.
I think she's asking about corn syrup to
No,
make.
no, I wouldn't add it to actually transfers because that can interfere with how they dry. You want them to dry hard, so you can then peel them off. It's like with chocolate when you're doing chocolate transfer, and it's not fully set. It's not going to peel off your parchment or wax paper or acetate. So you want them. I wouldn't use that to use corn syrup if you plan on making transfers. Oh, we actually, Diana, we missed our live. We had shared Chinese Lunar Year cookies. I'm not sure when was it, Mark.
The date, I'll look, but if you look on YouTube, I changed the thumbnail, and on Facebook, I did change the thumbnail. You'll be able to see it. I have actually some on my Instagram. Did you put your photos on Instagram?
I do have actually a tutorial, like another tutorial. My not a tutorial. It's a like a preview. There's not everything because it's in my Patreon group. Um, I don't have the picture with me here, but I did Lunar Year fan cookies to celebrate the Chinese New Year, which is actually starting. It's 15 days, right? The celebration lasts 15 days.
So we did that on December 28th. We posted that. So if you want to look back, December 28th is when we posted the Lunar New Year projects.
So I'm just using a piece of paper just so all my cookies have the same width of the design that I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to be doing eyelet design. And I'm also going to just, for myself, mark the center of this. Okay. And I'm also going to use PME tape. This is a PME 1.5.
Yeah, I've never seen sets of their piping tips.
And of course, it's clogged. So if you have a problem that it's clogged, try not to use metal tools to unclog it because the metal tool can scratch the inside and it can kind of mess up your tip and it can interfere with how it's coming out. Oh, are you kidding? So it's not gonna come out.
So not to be a pain, but if you have sugar in your neck of the woods that it has a lot of crystals, you can use a coupler, and then you can more easily take it out of the bag. So she's got it in a tipless bag, so it makes it very tricky to pull it out there. So, but if you know that your sugar is problematic, you should use a coupler.
Oh, okay. Is that what you're saying? I would be using, 50 couplers.
Well, back in the day, that's what we used.
I never really use. I use sandwich bags. What are you talking about?
Well, couplers. I have all a bunch of
Did you
couplers.
use couple? Did you use all the couplers
Well, yeah, because
with everything
well,
with
yeah,
all the?
if you don't use the coupler, and you want to change from a 3 to a 1 or to a, you can't really.
Well, yes, that is true.
Oh, Susan can get it in the UK. Yeah, the thing is it's a UK product, so I wouldn't be surprised that you guys would have a different option.
Interesting. Are they? But I guess I think they're the same price. They're not cheaper in UK. How many you had?
I probably have about 20, something like that.
Just the round ones?
Different size round ones and leaf ones, and they have actually calligraphy ones, and so it's not long that you grow your collection. Piping.
How do you store them?
Oh, they're just in like a container that is like a cosmetic tray. I just have them in that. They're right on my counter, like to where the things that I grab the most.
Do you wash them in a special way? Or
No.
no? Do you have the thing, the little brush for the tips?
No,
No.
I use my tap has a like spray. I just hold the piping tip with the high pressure water and it just cleans it, no problem.
Now, if you're struggling with these scalloped edge lines, you can, if you don't know where to start, you can always mark, make a little dot in the center, and then divide each section in half so you make them approximately the same size.
Yeah, that's right, Kathleen.
For the brush embroidery, oh, you're too really bumping up my lines. For the brush embroidery, depending on the look you're trying to achieve, I would use number 2 or 3, 3 probably, even 3. So you can, yes.
Well, it's to give it like some kind of height difference, right, from the edge to the where you pull.
Yes, you want yes, exactly, because you are brushing off, brushing some icing away. So if there's not enough icing, then the whole point of brushed embroidery is going to get lost. Now you want this to get crusted, which I think it's partially crusted. It's fine. So now I'm going to prepare my. This is going to be super thin icing that you can see it's already separating the yellow parts. It's like all water basically. I don't even know how many seconds this is, like 0.
Absolutely.
I'm adding something here. It's not enough actually. So I'm adding a little bit more. And then I've got my brush here, so I'm just going to combine that. You want this to be, see how liquid this is?
So is that icing?
This is royal icing. Yes, I just added a little water. I'm going to brush this on between so it creates the lace look.
That's good, Molly. You're in the right place then. Yes, it's very quiet now. I don't want to distract her.
Oh, you can tell. You're not distracting me.
Well, I think I do talk a lot. I will. I must acknowledge this about myself. And some people like it quiet. Mind you, you guys have control over your mute button.
We love you the way you are. Right, guys?
I don't think I could do the ASMR videos. And now she's.
Are those still popular, those videos? I
They
wonder.
are. They are.
Do you find them?
If I what?
Do you find them soothing?
No, not at all.
Like I don't know if I want to have an amplified sound of styrofoam. I hate that sound. I absolutely love that sound. It's the word. Don't do you agree, guys? Styrofoam.
So here's a question.
Rubbing the styrofoam. What is the worst sound? Really? Like maybe we can start a topic. What's the worst sound?
Well, I want to know what's the videos that you watch like to relax is because like I make the cookie videos, so I don't really watch a whole lot of cookie videos. I watch actually dogs, like dogs being cute, people posting the dog. Like I follow this account Silly Doggo, and it's like just dogs being adorable, and that's basically what I watch.
Um, I don't really. I don't know. I don't really watch a lot. Um, I like comedy. I have to say, I like to laugh. That's I watch anything that will make me laugh or feel like feel good. Like laugh is really important for me because it's yeah, it helps with anxiety and all that. But what is the worst sound? Oh, watch Sally. Sally also watches true crime. Well, I'm sorry, but yeah, we used to watch. Gosh, Joe Kenda or Joe something. He was also like, I guess, one of those series True Crime. He was solving all the crime in. Where was it? I can't remember exactly the area. I like songs. I like to listen to songs. I have to say that's how I relax.
Yeah, I listen. Olga's asking. I like to listen to the radio. Like they talk. Like not a kind of just like Spotify. I like the DJs kind of talking to each other.
Mhm.
Dogs.
No, I don't. I'm not. I just have like a couple of playlists depending. Today was all focus playlist. It was instrumental, very soothing.
Who's Charlie Kim? Hello, Mara. Painting videos. Yes, some of those can be very relaxing.
So I'm going to put some of this stuff. And this is just to give it a little.
Crappy butter paper. I don't know what that is.
Scraping butter paper goes. Oh, butter paper. That's the butter. But butter is wrapped in a paper.
Oh, like a metal?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess I don't know. Does it make sound? The butter is wrapped and it's like parchment or something, right? So and then I guess you use knife to scrape that off. Oh, I would love to watch Downtown Abbey.
Oh my gosh, the Love Boat. Yes.
So
Oh,
um, I actually made these a bit small. These are bigger, so this has to be dry. So I've got one here, and we're just going to no regular paper. Yes, I can. You know what else I like to watch is I don't know if anyone knows these guys, Impractical Jokers. I don't know if it's your cup of tea, Mar, but I think these guys they got us through the. I mean, we are still in the pandemic, but the lockdown they really did. We were watching it nonstop, laughing, and um, it was really helpful. So now
maybe.
I have a dilemma. So I've got here, I have two that are finished, partially finished. Um, so I've got this one I'm gonna paint with gold. This one is just white, and I also have gray. So which one should I do? The one that I'm gonna show you guys. Should I do it in white? The border, I mean, white. This is like a mustardy color, but this is gonna be painted with gold, and this is gray. If anyone is listening,
Oh, what color, guys?
gray. I was thinking the gray should match with your cookies. Let's see how that goes.
Hey, everybody's saying gray. Kathleen is saying white, but
Wow, I'm in gray.
man, gray, gray, gray. A lot of gray. It's gray.
Okay, let's see.
Gray's a clear winner.
Can get it.
So, Han, are you going to be? Chantal's also saying, are you going to be on Valentine's Day again on Tuesday? What's happening on Tuesday?
Uh,
Are you moving on to Easter and spring?
it's Tuesday next week.
Yeah, it's Tuesday next week and Monday and then Wednesday and then Thursday and then Friday and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday again.
Thanks for the recap. The week. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I don't think it will be Valentine's Day. I think I'm going to move on to next important
The next holiday.
next holiday, so which will probably be Easter. So I'm gonna be doing not just single. Single would be easier, or maybe no. I find this one is also you.
The weeks do go so fast. Absolutely, Julie.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
we're at the end of January, so it's
I
fast.
still remember being a child. You know, when you're a kid and you can't decide anything. And I remember being so anxious, for time to go by so I could be a grown up. It was
Yes,
so
yes.
overrated. So overrated to be a grown up.
Groundhog Day, any new Super Bowl ideas? I have, well, maybe I will do one. Well, I'll see if I can get it going because I wanted to do a Valentine's Day, but tied to a football theme because it's all about these cute pink, reds, but our men, they don't, I don't think they don't really care about lace and all that. So spring. Yes, that is my favorite season. I can't wait for the spring here in Spain.
Spring has lots of fun. Like you could do woodland, you could do all the flowers, so many pretty things. I think I might shift gears. I've got actually a few cookies already cut on my workbench, ready to go for spring. So
I have Easter cookies cut. I have some Easter cookies, but I want to do bunnies.
yeah,
Yeah, what kind of cookies for Easter, guys, would you like to see? Do you want to see more religious cookies or more cute and kid friendly? Or something with buttercream? I'm thinking buttercream would be great for Easter.
something kid friendly.
Kid friendly? Like kid friendly
Kids.
meaning that the kids can help? Is that's what kid friendly is, right? Kid
Oh yeah,
friendly.
Olga, you mean for kid parties or you mean that kids can do? Just for clarification. Secular.
It's I'm piping it above. I'm piping one I'm piping on a border and then also on a cookie.
Oh, fun and have fun, June.
Julie, that's a good question. I might be painting them later with silver, just to give it, or not. I don't know. We'll see. St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day. It's my birthday, but I'm not a big. Are you a fan of doing St. I just feel like it's so limiting. I don't know. It's always the rainbow and leprechaun,
It's very repetitive.
woodland animals. That I like that. Bunnies and gnomes. Ooh, can we connect bunnies and gnomes?
Like cute things for, I guess it's for kids, stuff that's for kids. Yeah, I have actually some gnome cookies cut there and I have some Easter eggs and stuff. I just have to get going on that. I was with all the pink icing and now I'm gonna switch gears. The Becky's having some cratering issues.
Well, maybe you can catch up on that. Do you want to?
Well, Becky, one of the things that you can do, depending on the project, obviously every project is slightly different, but you could give yourself a little skeleton under. So you would pipe a dot or a line underneath, like, so you let that crust over, and then the visible layer of icing goes on top. So that bottom dot gives a structural help to that top finish icing. So obviously that does not work in every circumstance, but it does work in a lot of them. So if you were to have like a little small round area, you do a little round dot under it, and then it kind of gives you a little bit of a support there. And then the next thing is not having your icing too runny, because if it's too runny, then there's not much to hold it up. It's just going to sink and create that hole. So an overly runny icing can make that happen even more. And old icing, I find too, if your icing is old.
Now I want. You guys are asking about the border. Now the border, where I might, I can. Okay, here is. Trying to see
I've
something.
never seen that craters in the line. I've never had that.
Okay, so here is a piece of paper that is. There is some kind of a design on it. Never mind. Or we could mind. So this is a hard. So imagine this is your icing, and or I don't know. It's hard for me to do. So the border.
Oh, Kim, that's really sorry to read this. Um,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
you know, I think that the doctors that work in this kind of, you know, they've seen the awareness ribbons a lot. It's their field. Maybe do something different. You know, like
Flowers even. I would
yeah,
do flowers. Something cheerful. It's always, it's very, I'm so sorry, Kim.
but something, you know, like I don't know if you when you're in your doctor's office, you notice they have a picture of a beagle. Make cookies of beagles or something. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. That's their world that they're in all the time. Maybe something different would be fun. You know?
So this is basically, you could use this as a floral design to make the stems with leaves. You know?
Yes, the dehydrator does help for the cratering. Elizabeth, absolutely right. Thank you. Olga, yeah, you can use it, but thick icing. If you're making like a flatter flour, you risk having something that's maybe a crater as well, even though it's a transfer.
I also had planned on putting some roses on top, but I couldn't decide, guys, on the color. Like
Oh, that's fun.
I have purple. Then um, I also have pink. Or these are red. My one of my favorite colors to use color red. This. And then I just made these. I don't look like too big, but I think these are too pale. Oops, you can see. These are too
Yes,
pale.
that's I don't like that as much. They're very pretty your flowers, but they're barely visible.
Yeah, those are very visible. They're very, very pale. So I would probably go with with darker shade.
Diana's loving the lavender.
So lavender it is. So you would just attach these, and then we could add some leaves to them.
Yeah.
And to add the leaves, okay, let me get the nicer one. I've got some here. And you just need a little bit of icing to glue them on. I'm just gonna use some purple, white. And now, if you don't have gold lastic, I suppose you could leave the border as is, but I'm going to later paint it with gold. Now notice this is my piping here. I've had this here sitting. So what I did, I twisted the end, and then I filled it. So this way it's not going to dry in my piping tip, okay? I'm going to undo that. Now, this is a E52 piping tip.
They want to see the purple flowers with the gray border.
Oh, it's a gray. Okay. Little boss, huh?
Well, I
Okay,
think that purple and gray is kind of like one of those.
take this off so I don't mess up. I might use a different color on there. Okay. No, I agree. It's better with the purple with the gray. So I've got more purple flowers here.
So you can just to put it out there, guys. You can make cookies for your loved ones, but you could also, you know, organize a little decorating party, and that's fun. You know, like you set everything up, and they come over, and you guys can sit and have a visit. I know it's like nice to get the reaction when you give them the cookie and they're like, "Oh my God, you're so amazing!" But it's nice to spend a day with friends too. So that's another option for the cookies. You can organize a little fun day with your friends. Thanks, Sally. That little cluster of roses really takes it to another level.
So there.
Very pretty.
Echoing.
A
And
little
then
bit.
also to paint, wait maybe an hour, and then you can paint.
Gorgeous.
Thank you. And this is a. I mean, with the different colors, you can really play very good with the flowers. But I do agree, if they're too pale, then you won't be able to, like, they are not visible. So you need them to be darker, so they are, it's a contrasting color.
Sharon, you like it better without? Well,
Without the leaves. Okay, well, then you do it without the leaves.
yeah. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today. We hope you have a lovely weekend. It's already weekend.
Well, I used 101 piping tip for the roses. It's the small piping tip. Then there is 101S, but that's very, very small. That's for like very, very tiny, tiny flowers.
The thing is, you can change it too. Like, let's say you don't like that bright green, you could do like a khaki green, that's got gray undertones. If you want to have like
These I do have. These I do have in the coupler, so you can then switch out the size. This is a 101. You can then make it bigger if you wanted to make larger flowers. But for the cookies, I think this is a good size for this size of a cookie.
Well, the thing is, you're going to bite into it. So if you have a big clump of sugar, it's not fun.
Yeah, it's not ideal, absolutely.
Well, thank you, everybody. Glad you enjoyed that. We'll see you on Tuesday for probably spring of some sort.
Some sort of spring, yes.
See you then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.